Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie and I am a mum of 2 boys, and today I thought I'd film a video about how to save money as a family. Now if John is watching this, he's probably going to think, what on earth is she talking about? All she does is spend money on the family, she doesn't save any money at all. But I do think I try to save in the best ways that I possibly can. And I think now that I'm a family of 4, I do have to come up with new ways to have activities that don't cost a fortune and that can save us money in the long run. So I've written down a few tips and I thought I would talk you through them. So number 1 is to buy memberships. So I'm a member at our local castle, which has an incredible outdoor play area, but unfortunately you have to pay to get in to go into the play area. Now for me it's a really easy activity, it's only up the road from us and you can go to the castle, we can take a picnic, we can play in the outdoor activity play area and we have a lovely day there. And because I bought a membership, which was about £20 more than just your normal day price to get in, but I can go for a whole year as many times as I like. And I think a lot of places sometimes don't actually advertise their membership prices, which is a little bit cheeky, because if you are local to somewhere and you can buy a membership which you can go all the time, then why not spend an extra £20 rather than paying £18 every time you go? So I try to do memberships where I can. I've also got a membership for our local outdoor swimming pool. It's called the Sanford Lido in Cheltenham. And it's incredible. Like, my children absolutely love it down there. I loved it there as a child. And the annual membership is a little bit expensive, but because of that I get free parking. I don't have to pay every time I go in. You get 10% off their food and drinks as well, which is amazing. And in the long run, as long as we have a nice summer, I will save a lot of money. Like, we've been twice this week already and it's April, so you never know. Hopefully I'll get my money's worth. But I think having a membership somewhere is really important. The third membership we actually have is for a local wetlands. It's in Gloucester and I've actually got a family membership. So I pay £6 a month, and obviously it's all for charity anyway because it's all going towards the birds and keeping everything open at the wetland centre. And Arthur loves it up there. They've got loads of different play areas. They've got a place that's called like a welly boot land, so it's like a little tiny stream that you can walk around in and splash about, and in the summer you can go just in your swim gear and all the kids just get in the water and play around, and in the winter you can go in obviously an all-in-one waterproof jacket and your boots and you're good to go. And Arthur absolutely loves it there. So I pay £6 a month rather than, I think it's £20 to get in. I have to check, I can't remember. And we probably go once a month. It is about a 45-minute journey for us to get there, so I don't go every single week, but going once a month, it only costs us £6, and John can come with us as well at the weekend, and it's just so lovely. We really enjoy it, and I think having a membership and doing your little bit for charity at the same time is just great. So the other thing I try to do, and this is more difficult especially in the winter, because in the winter activities do just cost an absolute fortune, but I try to set myself free days or a free week where I literally spend no money. So you have to be quite creative. It's lots of bike rides, it's lots of trips to the park, doing anything that's free, or obviously using my memberships, like that's fine, but trying to do things that don't cost any money. And having a free week, when you get to the end and you go, God, I've actually spent no money this week, it's a really good feeling. And the thing is, getting into places with 2 children now, especially now that Arthur's 3, because most places are kind of 3 and under, you just pay for the adult, where now I've got to pay for an adult and a child, and it won't be too long until Albie's 3, well, a couple of years, and then I'll have to pay for 2 children and an adult, and it does add up, especially when you go to like farm parks and swimming and things. It can all add up. So I try and have free days and free weeks where I set myself the challenge to not spend any money. So my other tip would be, tip number 3 is to set yourself a budget for the month. So just for activities, I mean. So say I set myself maybe £40, okay, that's £10 a week I can spend on the children's activities. Now bearing in mind, Arthur does go to nursery on a Thursday and Friday morning, so those days are kind of a write-off really. He goes to nursery, I pick him up at 1 o'clock, we spend the afternoon kind of relaxing at home, doing puzzles, watching a film, reading, going out in the garden, just really simple activities. But it's more Monday to Wednesday where I have to plan things to keep them both entertained, and it can really add up, especially in the winter when it's raining and you've got to do indoor activities. So you end up doing soft play after soft play, which is my idea of absolute hell. I cannot stand them, but children love them. Or going to play groups. Everything adds up. So giving myself a budget of £10 a week to keep the children entertained, it means you have to be frugal about things. You can't go and spend a fortune every single day, but you could go to 3 play groups, or you could go swimming, a soft play and a coffee somewhere, but that's it. And that's what I try and set myself a challenge to do. I usually take them somewhere on a bit more of an expensive day out once a month. So somewhere like a farm park where it might cost maybe £20 for us both to get in. I consider that an expensive day out, and for that I've got to make it a worthwhile, so I tend to stay there for a good sort of 3 to 4 hours if I can, and only do that once a month. But it's a special treat, so I don't mind as much, and Arthur loves doing days out like that because I say to him it's a special day and we get excited about going, and it's really lovely. Tip number 4, I always take a packed lunch. Starving children is never nice anyway, and always having snacks and a packed lunch I think is a good idea, but especially when you go on days out somewhere, you can end up spending a fortune on lunch. Even if I just bought myself a sandwich, it might cost me £3.50, then Arthur wants a packet of crisps, that's another £1, then Albie's hungry, so I get him a sandwich, and that's another £3.50. So I try to always take a packed lunch, take a picnic blanket. You can set up camp anywhere as long as it's not raining, and in that case I take the packed lunch inside. I don't care, it's absolutely fine. They don't care, they're getting fed. And I think that is a really good idea because you save yourself a fortune. You've always got stuff at home that you can take with you, and it really does add up having lunch out of the house. So I try to take a packed lunch and be a bit more organised. Fruit shoots. Every mother's nightmare is a fruit shoot. So the minute one child has got a fruit shoot, your child wants a fruit shoot. They range in price in every place you go to. Sometimes they're about 50p, and I've bought one for about £1.50 before, a fruit shoot for £1.50. I mean, it's an absolute joke. We go to this soft play that's in a Wyvale garden centre close to us, and they've kind of put the fruit shoots on the bottom shelf in an accessible fridge. The minute we get there, Arthur wants to buy one before we've even got in the soft play. Before he's even done anything yet, he wants a £1.50 fruit shoot. So what I've been trying to do is buying a pack of 8 from Asda, keeping them at home, putting one in my bag every time we go anywhere that I know there's going to be other fruit shoots. He doesn't have them every day because they're still expensive, you usually buy 8 of them. But I get one out every time we go somewhere special, and he doesn't know the difference. He thinks I've just bought it from there, when actually I've had it in the cupboard for about 2 weeks and he has no idea. So I try and buy fruit shoots in advance because they're just ridiculous. I mean, all it is a little bit of squash in a bottle, and they charge you £1.50. Sorry, I'm getting a bit angry about fruit shoots, but they really annoy me. So I buy them in a pack of 8 and he doesn't know the difference. I've written down here, don't start something you can't sustain. So what I mean by this is, okay, and I'm sure this is the same with every children, but it certainly is with Arthur. If I go to a park somewhere and I buy him an ice cream, every time we go back to that same park, he will expect an ice cream. So what I mean by don't start something you can't sustain, if you think, oh, this will be really nice, let's get an ice cream, it's nice and sunny, just remember, he's probably going to want to do that every time you go. And which is fine, like it's not a problem, is it? And ice cream costs like what, £1.50, but when you've got to buy two now, because Albi's realised how good ice cream is and there's no getting away with them sharing, so I've got to buy two now. That's £3 every time I go to the park to buy an ice cream. So there's a particular park in Cheltenham which he knows there's an ice cream vendor there, and he absolutely loves them there. So as a treat at the weekend, generally when John's there as well, we'll buy them an ice cream. However, when the ice cream van comes round and that music starts playing and Arthur's like, "What's that noise?" And I say, "Oh, I don't know, it must be someone's music in their car," because I am not starting the ice cream van yet. He's too young to, every time the ice cream van comes around, because this ice cream van in our local neighbourhood comes around even in December. I mean, it's an absolute joke. You hear the music coming round. So I just say, "Oh, I think it's someone playing their music." And Arthur has absolutely no idea, and I'm going to try and keep it that way for a long time, because no doubt the minute he understands that music means ice cream, he's going to want an ice cream every time, and it will cause an argument if I say no. So just don't start something you can't sustain. Look up vouchers is my tip number 6 for days out. So an example at the moment, our local farm park, Cotswold Farm Park, are doing a voucher where if you buy an adult's ticket, you get a child's ticket free, which for me is amazing. It saves about, I think it's £8.50 for a child, something like that. So it will save me a lot of money if we go maybe 3 or 4 times this summer. So I try and look up vouchers for days out, because I do think it can save a fortune. They don't do them for everywhere, but if you have a good look, usually you'll find a voucher for somewhere. My other big tip would be, I've obviously got 2 boys, so I am really fortunate in that all of Arthur's clothes that I pack away nicely, I get out, and Albie's got a brand new wardrobe every couple of months when he grows out of something. So what I tend to do is, when I'm packing away Arthur's clothes that he's grown out of, I check them all for stains. Anything with a stain, I put in a rag bag for a charity shop. Anything that's a bit bobbly, I put in a rag bag for a charity shop. But everything else that still looks in really good condition, I fold up really nicely. I put in a clear plastic box. I label it with the age. And also I generally put things like, so 2 to 3 year olds summer clothes, 2 to 3 year olds winter clothes. That's what he's just kind of grown out of. So, and then I put it up in the loft, and then every couple of months, well, it is months at the moment, but soon it'll be years with Albie, when he's grown out of something, he gets a brand new wardrobe, and it saved us a fortune. I'm not joking. If I'd had another little girl, well, if I'd had a little girl, I would be skinter than skint. Like, I would have absolutely no money, because girls' clothes are so appealing anyway. They're so cute and adorable. I'd have just spent an absolute fortune and we'd have nothing to live off. So having a little boy has been amazing. And tip number 8 is I do the same with toys. So any toys that Arthur's grown out of, doesn't play with anymore, I've put away for Albie. So for instance, I've got a load of the Toot Toot cars. Arthur was really into those cars. We had like a fire engine track, and what was the other one we had? Like a car park thing for the cars. He loved it, but he's grown out of it. So I put it all away. So for Albie's birthday, he will obviously get a few new things, but he's also going to get a load of Toot Toot cars. He won't know the difference. Arthur won't even remember them. And it'll be a nice little addition that we haven't had to pay for and buy the same toys again. I've just put them away nicely, cleaned them all up. I will have to buy some new batteries for them, but that's fine. And then he's got brand new toys to play with. My last tip, which for us is the biggest tip of all, is to do your food shopping online. Oh my goodness, I save an absolute fortune. If I go into a shop, and if I take the children into a shop, which is just hell on earth, but if I go into a shop on my own, I'm the worst person with like, oh, that's on deal, I'll pick that up. Oh, that looks tasty, I'll pick that up. And you come out and you spent £20–30 more than you would have done if you just bought it all online. So I do an online shop once a week. I generally go to either Asda or Sainsbury's, depending on what I need, because I do all the boys' kind of nappies, wet wipes, snacks, yogurts, all of that comes from Asda. And then our kind of main meals and things I generally buy from Sainsbury's or Asda. It depends really. It's just I do either or. But once a week I spend between 50 and 70 pounds. It depends on what I need to buy that week on food, which I don't think is too bad for a family of 4, and that lasts us the week. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I do have to buy an extra bottle of milk or an extra bottle of bread, no, packet of bread, but generally speaking that will last us the week. I plan the meals, which again is absolutely key, because there's no point buying a load of food and then you open the fridge and go, I can't make anything out of this. So I plan the meals, I do the food shopping online, and it saves us a fortune. That is the one thing that John would admit that actually does save us a lot of money, because it does. It's just amazing. And having your food delivered, not having to go into a shop with your children, I mean, I don't know how women do it. It's absolute hell. I mean, every snack aisle, Arthur wants something to eat, even though he's just had his lunch or his dinner, whatever, he wants something to eat. You end up spending more money on snacks than you thought was even possible, and putting things in your trolley you don't need or you don't want because you're stressing about the kids and you're thinking, oh my God, I need the chocolate, I need something else that I don't usually buy, but I'm going to stick it in the trolley anyway. So I don't take them shopping, and I tend to do all my food shopping online. So that's how I save money as a family of 4. And I think going forward, it's only going to save me more and more money. As Albie gets older, he's only going to cost us more money, so you've got to find other ways to save it. So that's it. I hope you like my money saving tips for you as a family, and I will see you all very soon. Please hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and I'll speak soon. Bye!